A crime can be so horrific,
I could not believe a girl was capable of this type of focused rage and anger.
so disturbing,
She wrote, "I wish I could kill you again. Your terrified screams turn me on."
it's almost unbelievable.
She was a natural-born killer.
The city of Camberley, England, 1991. 11-year-old Sharon Carr is popular with both students and teachers.
At school, her friends recalled Sharon as being, a pretty sociable kid.
A polite, helpful girl.
Hey, miss. Hi, Sharon. I'll help you.
But her happy exterior is paper thin. Inside Sharon is a lost little girl.
Sharon Carr's early life was classically tragic. One of 4 kids her mother had by 3 different men. She was given little attention.
A string of father figures are in and out of her life. So is violence.
When Sharon was only 7, both her mother and her mother's live-in partner were hospitalized for a violent interaction between them.
Sharon, what are you drawing? Sharon?
This is a big problem for children to see something like that. It can leave scars.
Come on, boy.
To the outside world, Sharon seems fine. But inside, a storm is brewing. Before her 12th birthday, Sharon lashes out at a neighborhood pet.
From a very young age, Sharon was involved in some very disturbing incidents. She has used a shovel to decapitate a dog.
When a child tortures or kills animals, they're trying to take control of their life. And that's what Sharon liked to do.
Her mother can't control Sharon.
Be a good girl, okay?
She places her in foster care.
Come on, Sharon. Let's go see your new home.
When a child knows nothing but stress, they grow up hyper-attuned, waiting for the next bad event to happen. When Sharon was removed from her mother's home and put in foster care, things did not go well.
A month later, she's back home. Not just angry, but rejected. Her dark world is set to explode.
Sharon was completely lacking emotion and extremely cold in her outlook on everything.
Sharon was used to chaos, and so she created her own.
The English city of Camberley, in the early hours of Friday, June 6th, 1992. 12-year-old Sharon Carr is cruising the streets, looking for fun with 2 male friends.
Normally, it would be shocking to know that a 12-year-old was out at 2:30 in the morning. But Sharon didn't have any boundaries, no rules. If there were, she broke them anyway.
Also out on the town is 18-year-old hairdresser Katie Rackcliffe. But her night ends in tears when she bumps into a former boyfriend.
Katie had actually recently split up from her boyfriend.
I'm really sorry, but...
She found out he was dating another girl, and this clearly upset her.
The dejected hairdresser is vulnerable when the girls' worlds collide.
No, I've never seen it before. Oi, darling, you want a cigarette?
It's 2:30 in the morning. Katie is outside the nightclub. They've shut the doors. She's pretty tipsy from the alcohol she's consumed. She's still very upset.
Really nice thing. You want a lift? Yeah, sure, why not?
Katie thought she was getting a ride home.
It's obvious that Sharon was not threatening in any way to Katie.
What's wrong? Boy issues.
Otherwise, she would never have accepted the lift with Sharon and those two boys.
But Katie is not going home. She's driven to an isolated park.
Let me out. You can walk home from here. Calm down, love. No more, you're crazy.
Sharon pulled out this 6-inch blade
What did you call me?
and surprised Katie.
I called you crazy.
Sharon was tired of practicing on animals. I don't think Katie did anything to set Sharon off. Sharon knew she was going to kill that night. Katie was the unlucky victim.
Sharon's friends do nothing to help Katie.
Katie must have just been in disbelief. Then she would have doubled over, feeling all of the pain, feeling the blows from that knife cutting through and through her.
Sharon will record in her diary what she is thinking that night.
She wrote, "Killing for me is a mass turn on. It makes me so high."
She enjoyed the act of stabbing and venting her rage. Moreover, it turned her on.
Sharon even wrote in her diary, "I wish I could kill you again. Your terrified screams turn me on."
And if she could do it again, she would draw out the murder over a longer period of time because she enjoyed Katie's suffering.
In the frenzied attack, Katie suffers more than 30 wounds to her chest, heart, and abdomen.
Katie bled to death. She died mainly from internal bleeding.
What 12-year-old Sharon does next is almost impossible to believe.
Oi, boys, come and help me.
She exposed her body, looked at her breasts and genitalia, and then used the knife to cut her. I could not believe a 12-year-old girl was capable of this type of focused rage and anger. I could not believe that a 12-year-old girl would mutilate the genitalia and breasts of an 18-year-old girl.
When Katie's body is discovered the next day, everything points to a sex murder.
The police thought Katie was killed by a man. It looked like a rape homicide to the police.
No one suspects a 12-year-old girl. And her friends don't talk. Sharon is free to go back to being a schoolgirl. Until, on the 2nd anniversary of Katie's murder,
What did you do that for?
without provocation, Sharon again resorts to violence.
The 7th of June must have meant something to Sharon. It was the day of her first murder, and it looks like she tried to do it again.
This time, Sharon is arrested and sentenced to 2 years in youth detention. And police discover her macabre diary.
Sharon admitted to the murder of Katie and the sexual pleasure she gained from that.
Sharon's male accomplices are never identified. In March 1997, Sharon Carr, the UK's youngest known murderess, is convicted.
Sharon, at 12 years old, was a sadist, a sexual sadist.
In prison, Sharon's finally diagnosed as suffering from schizoaffective disorder, a combination of schizophrenia and a mood disorder.
Schizoaffective disorder is the double whammy of psychiatric problems. This is a condition marked by profound mood swings and periodic psychoses. Bad combo. Most people diagnosed with it do have difficult lives, but they do not become killers. Sharon was different. Sharon gives mental illness a bad name.
Sharon is transferred to a secure mental institution where she can be held indefinitely.
Sharon remains under the care of a mental institution to this day.
And to this day, few can believe a 12-year-old girl capable of such cruelty. But Sharon's mental instability took hold at a very early age.
It's highly unusual for a 12-year-old female to become a sadistic sexual killer. I've never even heard of it before this case. But Sharon was ahead of her time.
When you dwell on the fringes,
she was the girl who was trying to find something better, didn't know how to get there.
love can be cheap.
All Brandita wanted was someone to love her.
You threatening me?
And life even cheaper.
She knew that something awful was going to happen.
In Sylmar, in the San Fernando Valley, California, 1988, 52-year-old Joan Dolly's job is to bring joy to others.
She worked at the Hallmark store, so you can imagine she was a part of a lot of people's happiest moments as they go in there and buy their cards.
Dennis has been acting weird lately.
But Joan's own Hallmark moments are few and far between.
I think he's having an affair.
Are you sure, Joan?
Her 32-year marriage to childhood sweetheart Dennis is losing its luster.
Dennis was retired Air Force. He looked like just the average Joe, the family man. He had kids at home.
Why were you so late last night?
An old friend turned up at the club.
Oh, really? An old friend?
As Dennis drifts away, Joan pulls on the purse strings.
You've been going through money like water.
Joan really kept tight reins on Dennis.
I earn it.
Not as much as you spend.
Dennis complained to people that his wife just controlled him. That, you know, he wanted to buy certain things. He wanted a boat. He wanted a jacuzzi. She would always hold the purse strings. She'd always say, no, 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 no. You can't have that.
To earn a little spending money of his own, Dennis takes a part-time job at the local golf course.
People saw Dennis as a happily married man, but they didn't know about his secret life.
In his spare time, Dennis enjoys more vigorous pursuits.
Dennis frequented the prostitutes on Sepulveda Boulevard up in the San Fernando Valley, not far from their home.
Today, Dennis won't even have to leave work. 31-year-old Brandita Taliano walks right into his life.
Brandita was kind of a typical street prostitute, worked in the San Fernando Valley.
Hi. Do you work here?
I sure do, sweetheart.
Brandita is a heroin addict from the wrong side of the tracks.
She was the girl who was trying to find something better, but didn't know how to get there.
Maybe I'll call you sometime.
Do that.
Oh, you betcha.
Dennis does call, and Brandita sees her new customer as a ticket off the streets.
Here was this guy, this Air Force guy, this golf course guy who had a nice house, and maybe she felt, you know what? Maybe this is my turn.
Brandy revels in this extravagant new life. As the months go by, the bill goes up.
Something was happening with Brandy and Dennis far beyond a hooker and a John. I mean, he paid for her apartment, he bought her food, he got her a car.
Dennis spends all his time
You're an expensive habit.
and money away from home. 55-year-old Joan has had enough. In 1991, she's handed a ticket to freedom.
Joan had inherited $70,000 from her mother passing away.
And because it was left as an inheritance, it meant that it was all hers. She didn't have to share it with her husband. So that was her way out.
You're not getting the house.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
She was prepared now to move forward with the divorce because she could then afford to maintain her lifestyle without very much change.
So you expect to get all of your inheritance plus half of my assets?
Divorce means Dennis will lose everything he holds dear, his money and his mistress.
I think Dennis realized his financial life was about to be seriously affected.
He didn't want to be left with nothing. He didn't want to split his pension with her.
You threatening me?
Yeah, I am.
Dennis desperately wanted to prevent his wife from divorcing him because it would have financially devastated him.
On a spring morning in 1991, one of Joan's co-workers calls at their home.
Mrs. Dolly did not show up at the Hallmark store to work.
Joan!
Her friend, who was the owner,
Anybody home?
became deeply concerned and was unable to rouse anybody at the door.
So she let herself in the house and found Joan's body.
Joan has been bludgeoned to death. It looks like a bungled robbery.
The assumption is, well, burglars broke in, and she was startled awake, interfered with the burglary, and they killed her to avoid her being a witness.
Under Joan's fingernails, forensics find human tissue from her attacker. But in 1991, DNA tracing is in its infancy.
They knew there was DNA there, and they'd hoped someday maybe that DNA would provide the answers to what happened.
Joan's husband, Dennis, had an early start at the golf course. The police call him home to break the sad news.
Dennis basically doesn't know anything at all about it. He has no clue how this could possibly happen.
Did your wife appear stressed?
Dennis is not behaving like a man in mourning.
He was absent a lot of emotion that one would expect because your wife of 35 years had simply been brutalized in this fashion.
days after his wife is buried, Dennis seeks solace in Sin City.
You got this in the bag.
I mean, this was his wife of 35 years. Who does that? Who goes on a Las Vegas holiday right after she's been brutally murdered?
Casino surveillance cameras catch Dennis with a special someone. The police want to know who.
And they're thinking, who is she? I mean, his wife just died. Who's this gal he's hanging around with?
That woman was eventually identified as Brandita. Brandita was living the high life. He was taking her to Vegas, buying things. She had it made.
But before long, Brandy's glittering world will come crashing down.
They searched her apartment and found a bunch of jewelry. Guess who that jewelry used to belong to?
It's the winter of 1993 in LA. For 2 years, Brandita Taliano and her sugar daddy, Dennis Dolly, live it up. Thanks to an inheritance from Dennis's murdered wife, Joan.
2 years after a crime has passed is enough time for the perpetrator to become comfortable, to think that maybe they got away with it.
But their party is about to end. Brandita is arrested on a drugs charge.
Brandy gets arrested. And when she gets arrested, the cops think about that old case involving Joan's murder. And they think also about the advances in DNA.
By now, DNA analysis is common. The tissue found under Joan's nails matches Brandy's DNA. And there's something else tying her to the crime.
During the course of her detention there, they discovered all this jewelry in the bottom of her purse. And it just happened to be Joan Dolly's jewelry.
This isn't Brandy's first stint in prison. A few years earlier, when Brandy Taliano is locked up for theft, she has one loyal visitor, Dennis Dolly.
Hey, how you doing?
Brandita was in and out of custody.
How you think I'm doing? Have you got the stuff?
Dennis started visiting her in jail.
He bought her drugs when she needed drugs.
Dennis wants something in return.
If you got someone, you know, for the big job.
During one of those visits to the jail, the subject came up that he needed help. He needed someone to help him with a big job. And did Brandy know anybody?
His name's Gary. He'll do it for the money.
And Brandy came back with a couple of ideas, a couple of gang members from LA.
The big job is to kill Dennis's wife.
She sleeps on that side. I don't care what you do to her. You can rape her, beat her, whatever, so long as she's dead.
Dennis tells the two men he's employed to murder his wife of many, many years, the mother of his children, that they can go ahead and rape her if they want to. Just make sure she's dead when it's over. He hated her.
But one of the potential hitmen is arrested on an unrelated charge.
Which put an end to this plan because the two gang members needed each other to do the job, so it halted the plan.
With his divorce looming, Dennis is on a deadline.
It became urgent that he do something quickly.
When his low-class lover is released from jail, Dennis has the answer.
Dennis decides to take matters into his own hands, and he needs some help. He needs Brandy. So he tells Brandy to come over late at night, and he lets her inside.
He probably promised her she'd be the next Mrs. Dolly. And she wanted out of her situation.
Dennis Dolly was armed with a golf club. Mrs. Dolly was asleep in the master bedroom. I don't think she suspected anything until she was startled awake in her bedroom to see Dennis wielding a golf club, this strange woman.
To get the life she wants, Brandita must take Jones.
Brandy grabs her and holds her down.
And that's how Brandita's DNA ended up under the nails of Mrs. Dolly.
She's dead?
I think so.
They then scrambled through the house, tossed everything.
They just sort of set the stage in a very poor way that a robbery had gone wrong.
They've stolen Jones' life. Now they squander her inheritance.
Dennis spent his ill-gotten gains on a boat, a jacuzzi, a waterbed, and a gazebo. That's what Jones' life and their marriage was worth to him.
With money as a powerful motive and damning DNA evidence, Brandita Taliano and her lover Dennis are charged with the murder of Joan Dolly.
He was the most average guy in the world. No one could believe that inside of him was the ability to be this evil.
In 1997, Dennis Dolly is convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. He dies in prison 6 years later.
I don't think Dennis loved Brandy. I don't think he loved Joan. I don't think he loved anything or anyone. Dennis was all about himself.
Brandita Taliano is also convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life. Brandy and Dennis had very different aspirations, but they'd both stop at nothing to get their way.
All Brandita wanted was heroin and someone to love her. All Dennis wanted was someone to have sex with and to help him kill his wife, Joan. And then they met.
London's East End, today a bustling market hub. But during the 60s, this working-class neighborhood is the Cockney capital of armed robbery.
A deprived area and not much work, everybody poor, hard-working, basically honest people, but being so deprived, of course, crime thrived in that area.
Criminals strike fear into the hearts of some and desire into the hearts of others.
Linda Calvie is a woman who never met a bad boy she didn't like.
She had a real look about her, a 60s, twiggy model, Carnaby Street, but she was a beautiful, buxom-looking woman.
Smoldering 20-year-old Linda Welford is born to be on the arm of a gangster.
She seemed to have this big influence over men she met, and certainly was never short of male attention and admirers.
Today's admirer is one of London's most hardened armed robbers.
He must be Mickey.
26-year-old Mickey Calvie.
Now get me a drink, then.
You think you're worth it?
He did all the top jobs. He was what they call a stand-on man. He was very respected and he wouldn't let anyone down.
Linda's friend, Katie Cray, is one woman who knows what it's like to marry an infamous gangster.
I was married to Ronnie Cray, one half of the Cray twins, the notorious Cray twins.
Mickey's just out of prison. To Linda, his long rap sheet is pure catnip.
I thought you'd be pug ugly.
Come on, then.
And from that minute, she had Mickey Calvie.
She was looking for some excitement in her life. The easy road was not the road for Linda.
Which is just as well. Mickey soon ends up behind bars, and Linda learns there's nothing conventional about criminal life. Not even your wedding.
Mickey was in prison at the time when they got married, and he was handcuffed right the way through the ceremony. So that was Linda's introduction to marriage.
On Mickey's release in 1978, another lesson. Criminal rewards may be high, but the risks are too. During a botched armed robbery, Mickey pays with his life.
Scotland Yard's flying squad team ambushed the gang.
Mickey ended up turning toward the cop with a shotgun, and the cop shot him first.
With her husband dead,
Haven't caught you at a bad time, have I?
the East End criminal community rallied to support Linda.
One of the big names and one of the most successful armed robbers at the time, a man called Ronnie Cook.
Yeah, doing all right for money?
Not too bad.
Threw a benefits party to raise money for Linda and the family.
If there's anything you need, you just let old Ronnie know, yeah?
Linda's never going to be alone for long.
Anything.
Actually, there is something.
Ronnie Cook is another gangster heavyweight who falls under her spell.
That is something.
He'd kind of really fallen for her, and he sort of lavished her with gifts.
He took her to Vegas, he bought the best fur coats, the best jewellery, everything that she wanted, Ronnie got for her.
But soon, Linda is on her own once again. In 1981, Ronnie goes to prison for 16 years for armed robbery.
Ronnie was jailed for his part in one of the biggest robberies in the UK.
I miss you.
I miss you so much.
I don't think you miss me like I miss you.
I've got something to show you.
Linda was completely besotted by Ronnie Cook, and she promised that when he went to jail that she would wait for him.
True love, Ron Cook.
And she had a tattoo done on her leg saying, "True love, Ronnie."
It's lovely, isn't it?
But 16 years is a long time to be without a man.
Listen, I've arranged for someone to look after you while I'm in here, yeah?
Okay.
So Ronnie makes sure Linda is looked after.
He's a good lad. He'll do what I say.
He basically arranged for one of his trusted friends, Brian Thorogood, himself an experienced armed robber.
He'll do what he says because he's doing what I say.
To look after Linda and to provide her with money. Thorogood gave her £100 spending money every week, for instance.
See, even when I'm in here, I'm looking after you.
But once again, the inevitable. Linda's famous allure snags yet another gangster.
Once again, Linda just cast a spell completely over Brian Thorogood. And he fell totally hook, line and sinker in love with Linda.
He kept an eye on her, all right. He left his wife and moved in with her.
Brian not only takes Ronnie's lover,
Don't worry, he'll never know.
but his criminal empire too.
Linda didn't just want to be with men that were criminals. She wanted to be a criminal herself.
For years, Linda has learnt from the best. Now she's ready to prove how tough she is.
Ah, please help me! Stop! Stop, please!
Linda's armed robbery operation was very sophisticated.
Get out there and check this out.
One of the robberies, she made out to be pregnant.
She suddenly produced a gun from her tummy. These guys were completely stunned.
Open the van! Now!
Linda is a natural. But soon, like her husband and her lovers, her criminal career is cut short.
Linda Calvie got 7 years and 4 months for armed robbery. So now she's got Mickey, who's dead. She's got Ronnie Cook serving 16 years in prison, and now there's Brian Thorogood with 22 years.
While Linda and Brian are behind bars, Ronnie hears rumors of their affair.
Ronnie said that he would kill Brian Thorogood if he met him again. But he absolutely adored Linda and he forgot her straight away.
Ronnie can forgive infidelity, but will he be so big-hearted when he finds out his mistress's other secret?
She had been going through Ronnie's loot that she was supposed to be safeguarding like a sailor on leave.
East London, 1989. Linda Calvie has graduated from gangster mall to gangster.
Don't you move!
But after serving 4 years for armed robbery, she has another worry. She's been stealing her boyfriend's money.
She was fearful of the retribution which Cook would visit on her once he discovered that all his money was gone.
Ronnie Cook is a tough man. Linda needs someone even tougher to help her. 35-year-old inmate Danny Reese fits the bill.
Danny Reese was known as the most dangerous man in the prison system.
I'm scared of Ronnie.
Big, strong, powerful man, did lots of weights.
I want him dead.
Linda went to see Danny in prison.
I can pay you 10,000.
And offered him 10,000 pounds to kill Ronnie.
Linda will use the last of Ronnie's money to hire his killer. But it's not the cash that makes Danny's heart beat faster.
He said from the moment he saw her, he just fell for her.
I'm sure we can work something out.
And she just cast her spell on Danny, and Danny was an extremely dangerous man.
Both Ronnie and Danny are coming to the end of their sentences. They're eligible for day release from prison. Linda is going to invite them both home.
Linda had arranged for Danny Reese to be on a 2-day release.
On November 18th, 1990, Ronnie plans to meet Linda at home for dinner. But first, Linda picks up Danny for the warmest of welcomes.
Cooked him dinner, and they had a little party in Linda's house.
That smells delicious.
But they'll be serving more than dinner when Ronnie arrives.
She sent Cook into the house ahead, carrying the shopping.
When Danny Reese came in, he shot him with a sawn-off shotgun.
But Danny is not the hardened hitman Linda expected.
Neil!
What Danny couldn't do, Linda was willing to do. More than willing.
Neil! Neil!
She made him kneel in front of her and look at her.
Linda, please!
Cook would have been devastated. This was a woman that he trusted and had a relationship with, was obviously infatuated by him.
Please! Don't!
She shot him in the face with the shotgun. That's not killing someone, that's obliterating them.
It was cold-blooded murder, very callous, calculated, and without any remorse.
Danny Reese then left the scene and then got on the train back to his prison, went back into the prison system and got back in his cell and carried on his sentence. Which, you think about it, it's almost a perfect alibi, isn't it?
Linda plans to inherit Ronnie's criminal empire and his money.
I heard him yelling.
By blaming the murder on his gangster associates.
Then I heard a loud bang.
She suggested that it might be any one of a number of underworld figures.
But when police find fingerprints at the scene belonging to Danny Reese, Linda can't bank on loyalty from her criminal lover.
They picked up Danny. He sang like a bird. He told him exactly what happened.
In November 1991, despite not firing the fatal shot, Daniel Reese is found guilty of murder and sentenced to life.
Linda was very skilled at manipulating men to do what she wanted, even if it was murder.
Linda Calvie is also found guilty of murder and sentenced to a minimum of 15 years.
Linda never expressed any remorse or showed any guilt or shame for what she did to Ronnie, the man that she said she truly loved and meant everything to her.
The story should end there, but in a bizarre twist, in prison, Linda marries Danny Reese, the man who put her there.
In an extraordinary wedding ceremony attended by a number of women serving life sentences for a bizarre collection of grisly murders and so on.
By the time Linda is released in 2008, the marriage is over. Just in time for the next man in line.
So Linda was actually picked up at the finish of her 17 years in prison in a white convertible Rolls Royce by her latest beau. So watch this space.
She draws them into her web simply by the force of her personality.
In 2009, 61-year-old Linda says, "I do," for the third time. Her 76-year-old husband has no criminal past.
Her husband joked at the wedding, well, you know, at my age, if she kills me, she kills me.
Linda's a really beautiful, beautiful woman, but inside she's as tough as nails. You wouldn't want to cross her.
Actions speak a lot louder than words, and shotguns are loudest of all.